Greetings everyone, this is Danny from hardtravel.com, and behind me is the beautiful Disney Dream. I'm currently in the Bahamas sailing on a 4-night itinerary, and we just landed in Castaway Cay. What we wanted to do is take a little bit of time to show you the Disney Dream inside and out so that you can follow along with us on this journey. A couple things to point out is it's just under 130,000 gross tons, so it's the twin sister to the Disney Fantasy and about 50% bigger than both the Disney Wonder and the Disney Magic. It was built in 2011 and it's an absolutely stunning shape for a ship that's nearly a decade old. So why don't you join me on the Disney Dream as we head on out and tour her. So we're currently on deck 12 midship, and behind me is the main pool deck. So the first thing that you're gonna see is Nemo's Reef. So one of the things I love about this ship is that they built it after they built the first two, and they had some time to think it over, repurpose some things, kind of reevaluate what they're doing. And so some of the spaces are a lot larger, some of them are smaller, and there's new ones altogether. So Nemo's is way bigger than the little pad on the Wonder and the Magic. And then as you move forward, you'll see the Mickey Mouse slide, which is a ton of fun. You'll also see the AquaDuck coaster. You can see somebody going behind me right there. You can actually put 2 people in there, so it's perfect for a family. I know my kiddo always feels more comfortable when I'm with her. As she gets older, I'm sure she'll want something more extreme and fast and fun, but it's really cool right now. So as you continue along the pool deck, what you'll see is the main pools that also cover up. So there's sliding deck components that cover them up completely. And so when they have the sail away party like we did yesterday, you're gonna have room for everybody to hang out and relax and party. And then also when they do the pirate night here coming up in just a few days, they're also gonna turn this into the pirate stage. So the stage will be up in the front below the funnel vision, which I'll point out in a minute, but the whole deck is incorporated. Mickey Mouse will slide down on the zip line. It's just a really cool experience, but they purpose built this for that. So you can see another one of the AquaDuck coasters going by. This time there's 2 people in there, so you get a good idea what it's all about. So if you'll follow me along, I'm just gonna talk a little bit more about the pool deck. We're up on deck 12, which is another great place with a ton of sun loungers. You also have the speakers and the lights and everything behind me. You can really see it well from here. And that, of course, is because of all the shows that they have on deck. So come on over. I'm just gonna point out one more time, the main pool, you got the kiddos in there. You notice that you do have lifeguards on duty, but you also have the vests. Highly recommend it. In fact, they'll usually mandate it as well. But they have all of those safety precautions in place for you. So you can see the funnel vision right behind me. Right above it, up there is actually the mid funnel where you're gonna find the teen club and also the Outlook wedding chapel as well. So let's head on. Right now, they've got a sing-along playing on the Funnel Vision, which is a lot of fun, and they do all kinds of different movies. So these are, sometimes they'll run the first run movies up here. They have all the Disney classics up there, but I remember sitting in there with my daughter yesterday watching Finding Dory, which was an absolute blast. We love it. We're in the water, we're on the ocean. It all fits together as Disney does magically. To proceed, this is the funnel, the midship funnel. You can see Donald Duck there having a little trouble breaking in. But of course, the giant Disney ears tell you exactly where you are. This ship also has that classic ocean liner steamship feel, very intentionally so, and they've already announced that their future ships will as well, because it's something that's worked really well for them, and it tells a story, which is what Disney's best at. So if you'll follow me on in, I'm gonna go into the funnel here, and we're gonna head up to check out the teen club, and then also the Outlook wedding chapel. All right, so now we're up in the top of the funnel on deck 14 on board the Disney Dream. You can see the piano over here. You got it set up a little bit for romance, and what this is it's a wedding chapel. It's also a really cool place to chill and relax throughout the day when it's not set up for that. But you can see they have it all set up with the rose petals and everything. You've got the lectern ready for the wedding. In fact, got the vows right here. But most of all, you've got this incredible view. We're in Nassau right now, and you can see all the ships behind me. You can see Atlantis in the background, but really the space is just it's a beautiful space. On the Disney Wonder, they actually converted that into the concierge lounge, so you lost it. So I love that on this ship you actually have the concierge lounge. It was purpose built for that, and then they also have this space as well. So heading on back down. All right, so now we're heading from the funnel back out onto deck 12. So I'll point out this right here, you can always get your towels in here, which is great. They've got the clean towels out, ready to go. I know some of the contemporary cruise lines, you have to check them out. Don't love that. And then right here, you're gonna have the used towels. And then there's quite a few of these throughout the decks. These are actually a great place to sit or hang out on further back when you're getting ready for the pirate show or something on deck. It's always fun, you know, you got a 3-year-old, you're holding them for quite a while. It's always nice to have a place to put them down. Then she goes on my shoulders for the show. But So we're coming on in. This is a continuation of the family zone, actually. There's just behind me here, you've got the funnel pool. I'm just gonna point it out there. You also have a stage here where they have live music and then more deck chairs as well. So now we're gonna head over to the adults only area. So one of the things that Disney does a great job at is takes care of every single member of the family thoroughly. So to start, we're actually gonna head up, but I'll just point out right now, down here, we'll head down the stairs in just a minute, but down here is the Cove Pool, the Cove Cafe. So this is the adults only relaxing area. And then when we head up, we're also going into an adults only area. So now we're moving up to deck 13. You can kind of see here, deck 13 is reserved for 18 and older. So the first bar that you're gonna see when we get to the top is Currents. And it's a really cool looking bar. It's kind of that Art Deco retro feel. Very, very Miami Beach. So here's the bar. Bartender just ran inside, so I guess that's free drinks for everybody, right? No? Okay. It looks like they've got an amazing selection here, as with all the bars. So we're gonna keep on going. Once again, adults only. It's a port day today. We're in Nassau in the Bahamas, so there's not quite as many people on board, but I thought it would be a great idea to show you the Disney Dream and basically when it's the most empty, essentially. This is kind of the bar lounge area, and now we're moving into the area with the sun loungers. Once again, Disney does a great job with it. Got the nice padded headrest, and then of course the very comfy sun loungers here. And then we're gonna continue on. What you'll notice, and what I wanted to point out, is that the lights and the music and all of the Disney effects go throughout the whole ship. It's not just on the main deck area where they have the shows, because with Disney, every area can become an entertainment zone, essentially. So you'll notice the windbreaks here as well. This helps especially when you're at sea. So got the glass here. You'll see more loungers. Once again, a great adults only area. Okay, so we'll pan over here, and what you have right in the middle of the Deck 13 Sun Deck is the Concierge Lounge, the upper deck of the Concierge Lounge. So right in the middle, you got a big glass dome. This lets the light into the Concierge Lounge. You got a little pool in the back area. And then up front, you have refreshments that are complimentary. They also have sunscreen, lots of little touches out there that are great. And then top-notch service, as you would expect if you booked a concierge room on board the Disney Dream. So let's keep walking around here. The entrance to the Concierge Club from this deck is right here, so you can come in and go out. That's the perfect example if you're sailing away, you want to pop out, take a couple pictures, and come back in, you definitely can. In addition to the doors that you have here to get in and out to the Sun Deck area, there's also a staircase inside, so you can stay within the Concierge complex. And then quite a few of the Concierge rooms are right there on deck 12, right outside the lounge, and you can enter that way as well. So we've got a shower here, and then you've got a great pool area to cool off, especially on a hot day like today in the Caribbean. So you see some of the grown-ups over there having some adult beverages and enjoying the pool. So again, more sun loungers. This place is the shade. Once again, you'll notice the glass partitions that they do a great job with. And now we're at the very, very front of the ship. So the first thing that I noticed when I got on this ship is it's considerably wider than on the Wonder and the Magic. And so this is the place where everybody likes to go when you're sailing away, when you're in those epic, places. So it's nice that they have a lot more space for people. And then of course you can spread out as well. So follow me to the very front of the ship. This is where of course you can get your Titanic action on here if you want to Jack and Rose it. But just in front of me all the way at the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's also a crew area all the way down there as well. So just a great viewing point for anything that you want to see. All right. Right now we're in, I mentioned earlier, we're in Nassau in the Bahamas. Next to us on one side is Royal Caribbean's Navigator of the Seas, and on the other side is the Ecstasy from Carnival. Just some fun information. I've been on both quite extensively. In fact, we're going to be filming on board the Navigator here very shortly. But my very first group cruise that I did was on the Ecstasy when I was in college. I got a bunch of friends together, and we went and did a big 3-day weekend cruise down to Mexico. And then the Navigator of the Seas is the Mariner class of ships, which I adore. It was the first one that I went on where it just kind of blew me away. It was the first mega ship that I'd ever really experienced, and excited to experience it again. So we're going to head through the partition here. And once again, we're still on the adults only part of the ship. So now we're on the other side. You've got more shade over here, and then the pool deck continues. And one thing that I think Disney's done a great job at, this is one of the radar domes. I've never seen any other cruise line incorporate it into being part of the ship. So in this case, it's a shaded area where you've got a couple loungers and chairs there where you can have a drink and relax. So once again, just using the most out of the space. Another shower here. Always want to rinse off after you get out of the pools. And then this is the other entrance to the Concierge Sun Deck right here. So you see the other door. Your key, of course, will work for it if you are in the concierge class on board Disney. Okay, so I'm going to continue on back towards the back part of the ship now, and we're going to head down into the adults only area and explore a little bit more of the ship. So we're just finishing up with the adults only sun deck area, and this is one of the smoking areas. There's a couple designated spots on the ship where you can smoke. This happens to be one of them. Once again, I love that it's in the adults only area, kind of away from everything else, and even up above where the kiddos are. So we're gonna head on down now. Right? We're actually gonna go down 2 decks. So the first one now, we're transitioning from deck 13 back down to deck 12. Then we head down 1 more actually, and we're gonna stay within the adults only area. So this is the Cove area, which you'll see you've got the adults only pool with the misters, which is awesome. Over there you've got a whirlpool. So one of the things on the Disney Dream is that all over the ship on this deck, they have these great whirlpools. So they have them in the adults only area and in the family areas as well. So you'll see the big plush padded loungers. They also have some double sun beds. And right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my favorite place on any ship, any city, anywhere in the world, and that's the coffee shop. Go. Walk in, you've got incredibly comfortable, heavily padded seating. You've got some great Walt Disney nostalgia up on the board wall. The snacks, one little touch that I always love when I'm having my coffee in the morning here is that they always have croissants. Either you have them room temperature, you can also have them warm. That's something they have available throughout the day. It's just a really, really beautiful atmosphere in here. It's very calm. But one of the big differences between the Wonder and the Magic is that you have these really large windows, so it lets in a ton of light. And it's also in the middle instead of facing sideways, so you kind of get the whole adults only area encompassed in one. So how's it going today?
Good, thank you. How are you doing today?
I am excellent. So you've got a full range of all the coffee drinks that you can think of, including some experiences. My favorite is the chocolate experience. Got to do that. And then, of course, they serve Ely coffee, which is some of the best in the world. So in addition to having great coffee, you've got all the choices of tea, as you would expect as well. And then also, one of the unique things they have in here is a full cigar setup. So you can take these and you can smoke them up in the adults only smoking areas as well if you'd like. So heading back out into the adults only area, and it is a nice warm day today, so I'm gonna do what everybody wants to do here. Just hop on into the water, and on over, and all right. So a little cool off on the feet, also the face, and now I am ready for the rest of the explorations. So now I'm nice and cooled off. Right here you got a couple bar stools that are actually in the pool, so you can keep your feet nice and cool while you're in there. A little better when it's in the shade right now. And follow me around. Okay. So once again, full service adults bar, more of the plush seating because we're still in the adults only area. And if you'll follow me through here, we're actually gonna head out of the Cove area and back into kind of, I guess you'd call it the family zone. So this is the areas that are open to everybody for the ship. The very, very first thing that we're going to encounter is some of the deck food. How's it going? All right. So the first thing I noticed when we walk in here, you may not be able to pick it up on the video, is that it's a lot louder. You hear the kids in the background, you hear a lot of things going on. So right here is Fillmore's. What you're gonna have is ready-made salads, fruit, things along those lines. When I was on the Disney Wonder, this would have been the equivalent to Daisy's Delights. And then we'll continue to move through here. You can see the menu. So you've got different wraps and sandwiches, freshly prepared made-to-order paninis, and then also several different salad options. And as you continue on, you get a little more of the food here. And of course, continuing on with the theme, because this is a Cars theme, you have Tow-Mater. So this is where you're gonna find the cheeseburgers, the chicken nuggets, the chicken tenders, the fries, things like that. This is open actually a little bit later than the rest of them as well. So this is the area where you're gonna order right here. And then the very last food option that's right here is Luigi's Pizza. Once again, a Cars reference. You have pizzas that are already ready to go. You can also order one made to order if you'd like. So a little wave, how's it going? Thank you. Excellent, how about yourself? Okay, so right here is the midship elevators. And I just wanted to point out one fun thing you got right here. So this ship, since its inception, has pretty much just been in the Caribbean. And so one of the things that Disney created for the Caribbean specifically is Pirates in the Caribbean. So this is the Pirates in the Caribbean shop. Essentially, they call it Who's It's and What's Nots. But for the pirate show coming up here in just a day or so, you can see they have all the costumes for boys and girls, adults alike. So if you are into pirates and you're into Disney, this is the shop for you on board. So on the exact opposite side as the food, you have the treats. So here is the ice cream zone. So once again, a reference to Monsters, Inc. here. You've got soft serve. This is always a huge hit on any cruise ship, really popular on Disney as well. And then if you'll follow me back a little further, okay, we'll also see that here is Frozone's Treats. So I love all the themes, of course, because if your kid has a favorite, they're probably going to find it here. But Frozone is from The Incredibles, and this is where you're going to get smoothies, and then, of course, adult beverages as well. And my all-time Disney favorite, which is a Dole Whip. You can't go to Disneyland, Disney World without a Dole Whip. The last one I had was at Epcot about 48 hours ago. Pretty good because it had rum in it. There we go. So we're going to now head aft, so towards the back of the ship. We're here on deck 11, which is the main pool deck area. And so right in front of me is going to be the Funnel Vision screen. So that's just over here to the side. Kids are in the pool playing, having an amazing time. There's several pools going on, and then above me, you can see all of the water slides. So we saw them from a different angle. Now you can see them kind of from the bottom. You've got Tangled on, which my daughter absolutely loves. She's over there sitting quietly. Will be for quite a bit of time. So just follow me along the pool deck. You kind of get a really good angle on the Aqueduct coaster where you head up the stairs here. So it's a couple flights up, and then that's where you catch it. And then for the Mickey slide, it's just on the other side. It's just one deck up as well. So make sure that you know the measurements for the kiddos. For the Mickey one, it's 38 inches. For the Aqueduct, it is 42 inches. So make sure that if your kid wants to go, that they know that going in. Nothing's worse than showing up, getting them all pumped up about it, and then being disappointed because they weren't quite big enough. I want to point out the different size life vests for the kids. And then also even up to adults like. So if you're not comfortable with swimming and you want to go in the water, make sure that you are prepared and you stay safe. Okay. What you'll also notice here is that you've got salt and pepper and setups on the tables because this is the extension of Cabanas. So Cabanas is the main buffet, which we'll head into in a minute. But this is just the extension of it, so you can take your food and eat out here as well. So now we're getting back towards the back of the ship. You have Nemo's Reef, which is a huge splash play area. So basically it's just water fun. They squirt up randomly, they come out. There's also a little slide in there as well. But this is one of my daughter's favorite places on the ship because she can just run around and play and have fun and get wet and stay cool on a super hot day like today. So now we're getting ready to head into Cabanas, which is the buffet option on board the Disney Dream. So there's two entrances. Right now we're going in on the port side, also on the starboard as well. But if you follow me in, you'll see what they have to offer. So when you walk in, they're always gonna have the sanitizing wipes here. Please, for you and for your fellow cruisers, please make sure that you use them. Keep your hands clean at all times. Nobody wants to get sick. So what you'll notice immediately is that they have a wide range of foods for every member of the family. So we're starting off here, of course, we've got pizza. It's Disney, so the displays are gonna be absolutely beautiful. This is kind of the catch-all for my kiddo, my family. You got your French fries, your macaroni and cheese, the veggies that are kid-friendly, moving into some pastas and breads. So in addition to all those, you got steak, chickens, rices, ready-to-made sandwiches, and then they also have some kind of Asian food at every single meal, which I love because my daughter really loves white rice. So that's always a good one. So now we'll head in. You'll see kind of one of the signatures of a Disney buffet. So they've got the full salad bar. Do a great job with that, as you would expect. Lots of options here. And then, of course, my all-time favorite is snow crab. So they've got crab claws here all the time, and then they also have a shrimp that's always available. So this is every single meal that you're gonna have in the buffet, every single lunch and dinner. You can always have the shrimp and the crab if you like. Bruce, are fish food or are they friends? I don't know, because I'm looking over here and you've got shrimp, so it's kind of food. I'm a little bit confused, but I'll get back to you, buddy. So one other really cool little touch here is that they have clocks for all the other Disneyland. So here is Hong Kong Disneyland. It's actually 12:40 in the afternoon there currently. You've got Tokyo Disney World, which is what we're on right now, which happens to also be the exact same time as Hong Kong Disneyland, just for fun. Disneyland California, my home zone, and then Disneyland Paris as well. Okay. So this is a pass-through area. I'm going to continue on, but this is, if you came up the aft elevators, this is where you would come into Cabana's front. So follow me along here. We're going to get into the dessert station. You can't go wrong with desserts, and there are a ton to choose from. Always have cookies. The room service cookies are really, really good as well. Fresh fruits, roast beef, beautiful ham, more wraps and sandwiches that are ready-made to grab and go. That's really, really nice, especially when you got a family. You need to grab a few things, sit down, get everybody started, and then you go back and get more. So another bar at the very, very back of the ship. And this is where I usually get my coffee in the morning. I'm going to do the breakfast buffet. They've got the coffee maker with all of the accoutrements that would go along. Love to order a coffee now. Continue on, and now this is where it kind of starts over essentially, and you have the exact same thing on the other side of the ship. So this is the other half of Cabana's here. I'm just gonna head outside here. So one of the best spots on all the Disney ships, in my mind, is behind Cabana. So this is the terrace area. Okay. When you're sailing, you get a little bit more of a breeze. There's not that many people out here because it's pretty warm right now, but you can see that it is a great place to eat. Also has some of the best views on the ship. One little fun thing that I was just going to point out here that I actually noticed the other day was right here. They've got a bunch of little fishing line set up so that the birds avoid landing on you, because that's one of the detriments. In fact, when we were sitting here, we were watching all the birds landing on the Carnival ship right next door. So here we go. So of course, here's another one of the stunning Disney mosaics. The Imagineers leave nothing to chance. This is an exact replica of one done in the 4th century BC from an artist from the city called Atlantis. I don't know if you've heard of it, but his name was Steve Papadopoulos. He's a cousin to the artist from the Disney Wonder. But anyway, you've got some incredible reflections on sea life from the 4th century BC. Sweet. All right, so we just came up the stairs one level from Cabana's, and we're up on deck 12 now, which is an adults-only complex of specialty dining and a great bar. So as we walk in here, this is during the evening where there's going to be someone who's greeting you, taking care of your reservations, of course. And if you'll follow me in here, what you will see is Palo. So Palo is a signature of Disney. It's on all 4 of the Disney Cruise Line vessels. And right when you walk in, you're going to see a very quick Italian connection. So this is blown glass from Venice. And then of course the name Palo actually comes from the poles that line Venice. You can imagine this is an incredible experience. It's truly fine dining at its best. You see the fresh red roses here. You're gonna see them throughout. And right here is a massive wine collection. So Disney has one of the best wine collections at sea, especially for this market. So if you follow me in, we're just gonna kind of wander through a few of the spaces of Palo so you get a better idea of it. So we're kind of set up here, which I think is a great idea because everybody who's on the back has great views out, and then everybody who's against the window has great views as well. So that's one of the negatives that you get on a cruise ship, is that when you're in a specialty dining restaurant or a restaurant in general, the windows are the best seats. But by having it elevated like this, you actually get great views throughout every seat in the restaurant, really. So I'm going to head on a little bit further back. You'll see another massive wine fridge. Once again, a huge wine collection. If you're a vinophile, this is a great place to be for you. And then if you'll follow me on back here, you have even more seating. So for me, one of the stark differences from going on this ship from the Wonder and the Magic is the size difference. It's quite a bit bigger than Palo, because Palo it's a huge success for Disney. Head all the way to the very, very back of the restaurant here, and I just wanted to point out the chef's table, which is a very, very special place if you have a large family meal. This is the place where you want to be, where you can get, if all the brothers and sisters and cousins and everybody was all together. Keep in mind, it is an adults-only experience, but this is that perfect space for that. It's kind of like the ultimate intimate space on a Disney ship for dining. Right, and we're going to come back. You'll see the dessert carts and different things set up for service a little bit later tonight. We're lunchtime right now, and it's not a sea day, so there's nothing going on in here. They've just set it up for later on tonight. So once again, you'll see the raised seating over here, raised seating once again, and so it gives every single table in the house a great view of, well, in this case, it's the Carnival Ecstasy, but when you're sailing, it's the beautiful blue waters of the Caribbean. So now we're going to head out of Palo, and one of the great things is by having the 2 restaurants up here and the bar space. It's really kind of an adults-only enclave that's separate from the ship. So we're going to walk into the Meridian, which is the bar at the very back of the ship. How's it going? Okay. So this is used for several things. One, it's just a great place to get pre or post-dinner cocktails, as you would expect. When I was in here last night, they were actually doing a whiskey tasting right here, where they had, they had a seating all set up, and they had the flights of whiskey all ready to go. And then also, of course, it's just an incredible view from the very back of the ship. So if you'll follow me over this way, on both sides of the bar, they actually have an outdoor lounge and seating area. What you'll see is this is the very back of the ship. Right below us is cabanas, of course. There is a walkway around here, but really what this is for is an outdoor seating area that is quiet. It's kind of away from absolutely everything else, and it's adults only once again with bar service. What more could you ask for before you have an incredible French or an Italian meal or afterwards? All right, so we're gonna head back into the Meridian Bar and Lounge. And one thing that I wanted to point out is on the floor here, which of course referring to the navigational meridians, but you can see that it's got the measurements there. Just a fun little feature. And then on the other side of the bar, you actually have the exact same lounge, outdoor seating lounge as you have on that side, but this one is a smoker-friendly one. So it's another spot on board that's completely away from everybody else that if you are a smoker, you can take advantage of, and then for everybody else on the ship who's not, you can avoid it essentially. So once again, Disney touches, the luggage straps on here. I think it's just a really beautiful aesthetic touch. We're gonna head into the second specialty restaurant, and this one is Remy. So this Remy actually refers to the movie Ratatouille. The reference is there, but it's just really exquisite French food. So follow me on in. So then you'll see another beautiful glass feature up top, and then the wines start again. A huge collection of French wines to go along with exquisite French food. On this side, the setup is a little bit different. So you'll see wine theme throughout. There's actually a wine cave over to the side here. You have several coolers with them. And then there's also several intimate spots. So this is actually one of the best spots for wine tasting on board the ship. But you also can imagine that this is just an elegant and beautiful place to dine. Okay, once again, got some more champagnes in there. Looks pretty amazing to me. Don't know the names of any of them, but I do know that they're expensive, so how about that? All right, so let's keep moving through here. Once again, you'll see the raised seating. I really appreciate that they did that in here as well. And then we're gonna head back just a little bit further, and then we're gonna sneak on over here. And once again, you have more seating in here. So this actually can make up into a 12-seat chef's table experience, which is what we'll be doing a little bit later on in this very cruise. On the wall, you see the references, of course, to Paris. Beautiful picture of the Eiffel Tower up here. And this is a referential throwback to the movie Ratatouille, of course. Okay. All right, and then just a reminder, this is kind of lunchtime. They're actually doing some construction in here. One of the things that Disney does a great job at is when things get worn down or they get ripped, they fix them right away. And so that basically things are spread out a little bit differently than they normally would be on the cruise as they're finishing up some reupholstering and things like that. So we're gonna head over to one of the drink stations. So they have them in cabanas, in several of the other spots, but right now I wanna point out the ones that are on the sun deck. So one really, really great thing is that anything that you see here is complimentary or included, essentially. So for me, the first time I did a Disney cruise, this was a big change from what I had been used to, where you have to get a soda card or you buy the mug and you keep refilling it or whatever it is. All of these are complimentary and they're constantly clean, they're constantly refreshed, and so I've never had a problem with that at all. But once again, I'll give you the choices here. They're the Coca-Cola products, which Disney has a partnership with. Of course, you got Coke, Diet Coke, iced tea, ginger ale, lemonade, Sprite, and soda, and that's the same at all of the soda shops throughout the entire ship. There's some other options as well that you can order from the bar, from the waiters, but this is the complimentary options on board the Disney Dream. So now we're heading from deck 11 back up to deck 12. So when we get up here, one of the things that I wanted to point out was the Aqueduct coaster, which is right here. You can see that it's coming along. On the back side, it's solid, and then it opens up here and it's clear. So as we're walking in just a second, we'll be seeing some people coming through the Aqua Coaster, which is half the fun because you get to kind of feel like you experience it with somebody else. So there you go. Here they come. Woo! All right, I love it. Okay, so you can see the stairs to the Mickey slide great from here. Also the funnel vision in the back as we walk, you'll see it even more clearly. So because it's a Disney ship, throughout the entire experience, you're gonna find Mickey everywhere. Some are hidden, some are hard to find, some are out there in the open. So I'm not sure if you can see it down here with the pool, but this first pool here is completely in the shape of Mickey Mouse, and you'll find thousands of those kind of things throughout the entire experience. So right now we're at the Aqueduct. This is the stairs that lead up to the Aqueduct coaster. Once again, you can see the height's got to be 42 inches for the kiddos. And then if you'll notice here, kids under 7 must have somebody over 14 with them on the raft as well. So it also has a wait time. There is a considerable wait time because it's a really cool ride. So just like everything at Disney, if it's really, really cool, you might have to wait just a little bit for it. So I'm gonna head towards the back of the ship. But one thing I wanted to point out really quick right here is you can see how they send the, it's really kind of cool. You can see how they send the rafts back. So they're just getting off the raft here and they're getting out, and then they take the raft and they put it in here. There's a conveyor belt right inside there. And then it's gonna actually take it all the way up to the top so that when you get on the aqueduct at the very top, got it. So you can see him doing it right now. It's gonna head down in there. So once again, another awesome Disney innovation. You can't take really anything on the ride as you would expect. And so right here, you've got a nice little cubby area for the aqueduct. You can leave your shoes or those other things. Also leave it with a family member at one of the chairs as well. So now we are deck 12 aft, and we're actually going up to deck 13 right now. So before we head up to the sports court, right here you have the Waves Bar, which is another another bar on board the Disney Dream, some more seating, and then we're gonna head on up to the sports deck. So the very first thing that you're gonna see is the Goofy's sports area. So they've got a basketball, two basketball hoops. You can play full court basketball, and then they also turn it into every kind of sport that you can imagine, dodgeball. Lots of fun things going on here throughout the entire cruise. See family over there shooting some hoops right now. So one really cool thing I'm just gonna point out is as I round the corner here, you can see Atlantis in the background. Not the ancient city of Atlantis, but the newly built, well, not that newly built, but you can see it's an incredible, massive resort. But when you're in the Bahamas, it's one of those great things that you can do during the day. When you get off, you can get a day pass there, or of course you can go back on a vacation, but really cool angle of it from here. All right, so continuing on the sports deck, the first thing I see here is a foosball table. Who doesn't love foosball? Oh, well, apparently, yeah, almost scored on myself. That's pretty normal. No, well, anyway, I tried. Tough to play one-handed. All right, and then as we move back, you're gonna see some water fountains. They're throughout the ship. I've noticed some of them, they've started to install the ones for water bottle refills. These particular ones don't have it yet. But as we continue back a little bit further, we are going to get to the miniature golf area. So everybody loves miniature golf, especially me and my kiddo. But we're gonna follow along here and check out the course. So as Disney does, they take it and they tweak it to add that fun element to it. So here you've got the well, all kinds of different things. You got a hockey stick. There we go. You got your golf clubs all bent. Just kind of fun and whimsical different things here. And we're gonna follow the deck all the way around. Okay. This is that perfect example of kind of whimsical. You'll notice on all of them they have Goofy and Max. So Max is Goofy's kiddo. So the grown-ups stand here, the kiddos stand here, and then once again, just a lot of fun. It's a great course. It's not super complicated, but there's a lot of little twists and turns that make it exciting. So for this one example, of course, the kiddos, if they can hit it straight through there, they can get a hole in one. But there you go. And there is Goofy. Spoof 90, so that's what I need. I'm pretty pasty and it's pretty hot outside, so I'm actually using sunscreen 75, but I'll leave the 90 to Goofy. There we go. All right, and oh, amazing.
Keep working, eh?
I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna head on in here. So this is one of the simulators that they have on board. So this is actually like VR basketball, but you can also do virtual reality golf, football, several other sports here. On the other side here, so this gentleman's playing some golf.
Nice.
See, every time I play Pebble Beach, I usually just lose about 6 balls. This is a great thing for me because it saves me a lot of money for losing equipment at Pebble Beach when, you know, either the ball goes or the club goes, you know. So now we're finishing off the golf, heading right up into the kitchen sink, because why not? Here we go. So head over there. I just wanted to point out actually that they have, it's kind of fun. They have the full card, so you can play as you would a regular game of golf, the golf pencils, and then over here is one of the ones that I was talking about where you can actually fill your water bottle, it's really convenient. I brought a really big water bottle on this trip. Ice is everywhere, water's everywhere like this, and it just makes it really, really easy and very inexpensive. So it's one of those costs that I've spent a ton of money on other cruise ships is buying water bottles. So one thing that I don't have to worry about at all on Disney. And then I just wanted to include one more final view of the Aqueduct coaster. I think this is maybe the best view of it because you can actually see how it works. So there, waiting in line there, we saw the line as they come up, and then you go inside the funnel actually up to the top, and you see the coaster actually comes out right at the very, very top of the funnel, comes around, and because it's a coaster, not just a water slide, the water actually propels you, so you go up and down. It's not a traditional water slide that you just go down and gravity feeds you. They actually have the water pushing you along. It was the first ever water coaster at sea.
All right, we're going through the tunnel.
Here we go!
See all the people down there?
Hey everybody! Woo. Here we go! Getting bumpy!
Into the funnel!
So now I'm getting ready to head into the Senses Spa and Salon. So this is the full service salon on board and spa. And when you head on in, the very first thing that you're gonna see just to the right here is actually the barber shop. So they do all full barber shop services that you would expect. They've got shaves, facials, all of that. It's just a really nice way to spoil yourself when you're on a cruise. Right? And then when we head on in this way, actually going into the beauty shop, you can see they've got everything set up over there for manis and pedis and hair. We're not going to go in all the way because there's a few people that are getting services right now. So if you'll follow me on through. So now we're heading into the main part of the spa. This is the reception desk where they're going to get you all set. You notice that they also have acupuncture including to all of the spa treatments. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to relieve some pain, might be a great idea while you're on board. Okay. One other really cool feature here is the smoothie bar, essentially. So the spa and the gym share essentially the same space. So right here you have a smoothie bar, and what's great, once again, technology is fantastic. You can check out the different options here and then figure out exactly what it is that you want to order. Okay. I do see some ginger back there that makes me really happy, and the fresh orange juice squeezer. All right. So now, as you can see, we're heading into the fitness room. The ellipticals here, and then the treadmills, of course, are up front, so you get great ocean views. On the Magic and the Wonder, it's actually at the front of the ship, and I like the layout better myself. Okay, but we'll just head on through. You can see all the equipment. Okay, so in addition to treadmills, you got the bikes, you got the yoga mats, different kinds of weights and things like that. And one really good set of news is that I fit. That's not the case on many cruise ships. In fact, most cruise ships I don't fit on. So you've got bikes, you've got all the spinning equipment. They do full spin classes in here if it's something you're interested in. The medicine balls, free weights, and then all of the machines that you might need on your vacation. And then that one nasty thing that they really shouldn't have in a cruise ship, Jim, but you know, sometimes you gotta check, but you know, here you go, the scale. I'm a little bit petrified of it, so I'm just gonna avoid that thing like the plague, especially with what I've been eating. And then finally, over here you have the water bottle fill-ups. Mentioned it once before, but I really do like those. Just makes it really, really easy and inexpensive to have good filtered water. And then over here as well, you've got lemon water, some oranges, bananas, some recovery things, and of course hydration because you're exercising, and we're in the Caribbean where it's a little bit warm. So I'm gonna head out of the gym and into the heart of the spa itself. So now we're kind of in the spa. And the first thing that you're going to see when you walk in, which is very Disney, very unique and different, is the chill spa. So this is actually just for teenagers. The entrance is right here, 13 to 17-year-olds, but they have their own spa room here. So as we continue on into the spa area, we're going to encounter the rainforest, which is the ultimate in relaxation on board the Disney Dream. So inside you're going to have 4 different kind of aromatherapy, steam, sauna type rooms in there. You also have the stone loungers, which I love. They're heated, so when you lay on them, they're kind of ergonomic to your back. There's also 2 little hot tubs that are facing out to the ocean. Really, really, really beautiful in there. But when you're doing a spa treatment, or if you just want to buy the pass for the week, it's kind of that quiet area where you can go rest and relax and rejuvenate on vacation, as you should. All right, so now we're getting into where the treatment rooms are. There's 3 of them that are actually upstairs here. And you have the quiet relaxation zone. We're not gonna go in there because people are relaxing in there, but basically they have 8 lounge chairs where you can sit back and relax before or after your spa treatment. They've got different kind of waters in there that are infused, and teas and things like that. But really it's just that kind of place to get yourself in the Zen mood and ready for your treatment. So as we continue on, you can see all the different treatment rooms. Sneak into this one real quick that they had opened for us, but essentially here you can see it's at the very front of the ship, an incredible view, but it's set up here for double treatment actually right now. But this would be what one of the massage rooms would look like. To me, it's kind of interesting that they use that space for the spa, because to me it's the best real estate in the entire ship, facing out in the front. But once again, they've got plenty of amazing views from the rooms on board. So I'm just outside the spa on deck 11, and on here and then also right above it are where the concierge suites are. So as you're walking through, you just notice right away that it is upgraded. So you've got your Mickey doorbell, so that's something that you're gonna find for the suites, but you'll also just see beautiful wood paneling. The carpet looks a lot newer to me. It's probably because it's not utilized nearly as much as the major hallways, but it's kind of an exclusive part of the ship for the concierge suite guests. It looks like it feels like it, as you would expect from Disney. The doors are a big deal on Disney. If you haven't cruised on Disney, if you have, you've seen them everywhere and you know what I'm talking about. So people decorate them all differently. I love this one because it's got the mouse ears extending. This references a 2016 cruise on this ship, mother and daughter cruise. It's got the names of all the friends and family who are going. And of course, this is a Halloween themed cruise. And so it's got all the Halloween stuff that you would expect from Disney, favorite characters. And then I also wanted to point out these fish extenders. So you see a little fish here. It started at the very, very beginning of Disney cruises, actually the first really long Disney cruise. People were wondering how do we interact more, how do we get to know each other, and they created this. So essentially you put, you make your own. I've seen people use everything from a pillowcase to something incredibly extravagant that's embroidered with everybody's names and all of those kind of things. But the idea is that you put gifts in there. If you're traveling with a group of friends, maybe a Facebook group, people connect that way. But also people will go around and pixie dust, meaning just give nice fun things for others on the ship. So just kind of give you an idea of the door situation when you see it. Also, the fish extender, the primary purpose of the fish is your mailbox. So these people are going to Palo, good for them, excited for them. I'm gonna enjoy it later on the cruise, but it also works as the mailbox as well. So when you're walking down the hallway of a Disney cruise and you see all of these kind of things on there, now you know what it's all about. All right, so now we're in one of the laundrettes on board. This is on deck 10. It's actually one of the smaller ones that you'll find on board the ship here, but I wanted to point out a couple things. So one, there's several washers and dryers, which is awesome, and you use your Key to the World card for everything here. So essentially, there's my Key to the World card. If I wanted to purchase laundry, I just do it right here. I'm not gonna do it yet because I've already done it, but you just put the card here and then you'll choose what you're paying for. You can also purchase the products here as well. But one thing that I wanted to point out that I absolutely love with Disney, I've never seen it anywhere else, is right here on the screen. It shows you that you have 2 washers available, 3 dryers available. It also shows you in the app, and it also communicates with you, because one of the things I hate about doing laundry on other ships is you got to time it exactly perfectly. Maybe the laundry machine takes a little longer than you think or shorter, and then somebody else takes your stuff out. But it actually notifies you on the app when your laundry's ready. So you just put the card here, follow the instructions. It's really that simple. They also have Tide and Clorox and Snuggle here if that's something you're interested in. I bring my own. My daughter's got a little bit of sensitive skin, and so we use our Shackley soap products. We just bring them along with us and it works perfectly. So inside the laundry room, they have a sink, which you always need, especially if you're cleaning stains out or something with a kiddo. And then they also have an iron and an ironing board. You cannot bring your own irons or steamers or anything that creates a heat source on board. So this is a great thing to utilize. Turn it on, use it, you're done, head back to your room, and you're good to go. One other very small thing, I don't know if you want to take a picture or not, but this shows you kind of where all the self-service laundry locations are on the entire ship. So you've got deck 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 2. So there's laundrettes on every one of those floors, and the ones that have more rooms you see are a little bit larger. So, but once again, the app to me is everything because it communicates everything that you need about your laundry. You don't have to stress, you don't have to worry, you don't have to think about it. So now I'm on deck 5 in front of the Buena Vista Theater. So this is the theater where they show the first run movies. In fact, what's coming up now is Aladdin and Lion King. Also on here is going to be Avengers Endgame, Toy Story 4, a lot of great movies that were huge hits for Disney this summer. And what's awesome is that you can watch them here as many times as you want throughout your cruise. It's just an extra value to me. And another awesome thing that Disney does is they give you all the show times at the very beginning of the cruise, so you don't have to wonder. You can plan for your very favorite movie. And if you follow me on in here, so it's kind of set up as the old Art Deco theaters of the 30s and 40s when Disney had Snow White, got big, but you'll see that it's really just a throwback to that era. It's a massive size theater, so we're actually facing sideways across the ship, whereas the Walt Disney Theater is going to be straight in the front. The Walt Disney Theater is considerably larger, and it's where they do all the stage shows, but this, they can actually do stage things here as well, like they'll do the D23 presentation, or sometimes they'll have entertainers in here. But a couple massive improvements over the theaters on the Disney Wonder and the Disney Magic, for me anyways, are that the seats recline, okay? So I sit back here, I can recline just a little bit. It's a much better viewing angle. On those theaters, it's kind of straight up and down, just the way they had to build it. By having a much wider ship, you can do a lot more with the space here. So you got a nice recline. You know, I'm 6'6", I don't really fit anywhere, but I actually fit pretty well here as well. You've got the cup holders, everybody needs that. They always have the popcorn just out front. If you bring your Disney bucket along, any of the ones that you've purchased at Disneyland or Disney World or even a previous Disney cruise, they'll fill it up for $1.50, so you can actually have cheap popcorn compared to what you're going to get in the cinema itself. So once again, this is the Buena Vista Theater where you're going to see the first run movies from Disney, and it's absolutely a blast. And if you have that kiddo that just loves a movie and you've been going to the theater over and over again, you can watch it here and see it as many times as you want, and they can enjoy it, and you don't have to pay anything more for it. I'm trash. You're a toy. Trash. Toy. Trash. I gotta save Forky again. Going into the trash. Come on, Forky. So now we're heading out of the Buena Vista Theater, heading along this walkway. Behind me, actually towards the front of the ship, are more rooms. This is the other entrance to the theater, so you can come in from both sides. They also provide the 3D glasses when they have a 3D movie, so you just grab them as you go in, enjoy the movie. Okay? One small touch that I really, really like are the bathrooms right next to the theater. Nothing's worse than watching a movie or a show with your family, and then you gotta go down a floor, up a floor, or go somewhere else to find a restroom and then come right back. So they're right here. And as you continue on along deck 5, the next thing that you're going to encounter is actually the Port Adventures area. So this is where you're going to plan all of your shore excursions. Nobody's here right now because we're on port day, middle of the day. They're actually all out leading excursions, but they've got full information here for all the different excursions and things. So right here, our next stop is Castaway Cay, which is there. And it's got all the information on the things that you can rent there and the excursions that you can do. Continue on over here, you've got the port shopping guide. So this is the person that will be able to explain to you where you want to shop. Keep in mind that Disney, like other cruise lines, they form relationships with different shops and companies, and so they can back up those purchases. But once again, you're not always shopping local, so it's just something to consider when you're making your purchases. If you want to buy a big item, big ticket item, or something that the duty free is going to save substantially on, it may be worth your while. But if you really just want that art or that local flavor, we always encourage you to find some local shops, talk to the owners, learn a little bit about them, and buy products directly from them. So now we're heading by the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Essentially what that is you can think of it as a makeover salon for little princesses. And basically, as we're walking along here, you can see all the princesses that they have in there. So Snow White here, you've got Cinderella, of course, Princess Ariel, Princess Tiana, Tinkerbell, and Princess Tiana. There we go. And then, of course, the Frozen crew, which are my daughter's favorites. So essentially what you do is you pick a package. There's quite a few different options. You can just get their hair done. You can do the full makeover where they get one of the official Disney dresses, top to bottom. They also do the Pirate Night makeover. You can be Captain Mickey. There's a lot of different things you can do, but the whole idea of it is to completely transform, which is very, very, very Disney. They have these at the Disney parks as well. It is a little bit pricey, so, for me being a little bit of a skeptic, the reason they put this on here and made the size so much bigger is they can make a lot of money off of it. But I watched my daughter go through the experience and she absolutely loved it. So definitely worth it on vacation. So right now we're on deck 5 of the atrium. So the atrium on all the Disney ships, it's kind of the central hub where everything happens. It's where your cruise starts, where you always enter. And what's really cool is that they say the name of your family as you're coming in to greet you. Everybody's clapping. It's a really fun experience to start with. And then throughout the entire cruise, you're gonna have character meet and greets here. You'll have dance parties. In this case, we're doing the Halloween on the high seas. And so you're gonna have all the Halloween activities that are all based around this as well. You'll notice that there's 3 different levels. We're up here on level 5. They'll have character greetings on 5, on 4, on 3, so it also disperses the crowds and it separates it out so that they can do multiple characters at once and everybody can get to see their favorite Disney character. So we're going to continue on this way on deck 5. As you follow me around, you notice the Disney details everywhere. Of course, it's the pirate ships from Captain Hook. And then if you look over, you've got the beautiful chandelier. You can see the pumpkin Mickeys all throughout the entire atrium. But once again, this is a Halloween on the high seas sailing. So you've got that Halloween theme. They also do the Christmas themes, the very Merry Christmas time theme. And also they do the Star Wars Day at Sea, which seems incredibly cool to me. I would love to do that sometime. So also on deck 5, you can become a detective. So the Mickey Detective Agency wants you to help them solve a mystery, and it's a really cool interactive experience throughout the entire ship. So go ahead and start it to begin here.
Midship Detective Agency.
All right. So you're going to grab your own badge number right here. They're going to give you the backstory. So the one we're doing is the plundered paintings, trying to figure out about those. All right, Mickey.
Oh boy, am I glad you're here, because we've got one doozy of a case.
You do the backstory, and then you're going to grab a badge and hold it up. So in this case, I'm 1148. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hold the badge right there.
Now move your badge until it matches exactly with the outline. Keep your badge straight up and down. Good job.
All right.
This badge number is now registered to your team.
So after you have registered, you're going to get both of these kind of things. And what's really cool is you actually just hold that up to the screen and it is going to identify you and it's going to continue on the trek. But what's interesting about it is what you're actually using looks just like normal digital screens throughout the entire ship. Just outside our room is one of the mysteries that we need to solve. So let's see. Oh, he's moving a little bit. Midship Detective Agency. So you got to line it up exactly right. There we go.
I wonder if the suspect has been here. Use your night scope to see if there's a clue.
Where's the clue? Oh, there he is.
Hey, this looks like a left-hand print. That's a clue.
There we go. We found another clue. Woohoo!
All of our suspects.
So as we continue down the kids zone on deck 5, I first wanted to point out It's a Small World Nursery, where it starts at the youngest cruisers, age 6 months. You can actually do drop-off service. They'll change diapers. It's a really cool thing that Disney does. You can check out all the pricing and everything on their website. So as we continue towards the aft on deck 5, we're going to encounter the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab. So the entire time we're walking from here on out till we get to the very end, we're actually walking past the kids space. It's all on the inside here. The club is going to have more of the themed fun. So they have Andy's Room, which is my daughter's favorite. They have Pixie Hollow, where you're going to connect with Tinkerbell and all of her friends. The Star Wars room is absolutely incredible. And then also there's a Disney Infinite with all the characters. So in the middle of that room, there's a giant light pad on the floor, and they do all kinds of interactive games where the kids can stomp and run and play. And then there's actually a full theater inside there as well. So you can see that the entertainment for the kids is just as exquisite and well thought out as for the grown-ups as well. So we're going to continue on past the Oceaneers Club. So the Oceaneers Club is on the inside now here. Right about here, there's actually a break where it converts over to the lab so they can separate it out and have 2 different sets and types of activities. So the club is going to be more theme-based. The lab is going to be more activity-based. You might be doing science. They might be making cookies, relay races. There's all kinds of stuff that's really stimulating for them. But as you can see, I'm walking at a pretty good pace. We're still walking, and we're still at the kids club. So we're just getting ready to get up to the entrance to the Oceaneers Lab. So the setup of the entrance to the club and the lab are identical. They're exactly the same. for families. So now we're at the lab itself. They're inside playing on another massive light table. They have a place where you can learn animation, all kinds of stuff that you can imagine for anything that's hands-on and interactive, like with the school. So this is where you're going to get set up and get started. So my daughter has what she calls her Mickey Watch, which is one of the smart bands, and you'd hold it just over here. There's a Mickey Mouse face. Hold it right there, it's gonna light it up, and then that's gonna sync the computer system with it for the kiddo. So as they run around through the entire club and the lab, they always know where they are. So if I came over here and said, hey, can I give you my card, because my little one's in there, I just wanted to check on her, make sure that everything's good. Well, Ava Jane, is she still in there? I'm not sure if my dad picked her up yet.
Check. Ava is at Andy's room, is in the other space.
Okay.
You can come through here.
Okay. You know, I'm going to hold off right now, but that's the perfect example. So my daughter, Ava, is in Andy's room, which is all in the far place, but she could let me know that. I know if she's in Andy's room, she's happy. If she needs something, she come up and talk to them. She'll continue to go back for it. So this is that perfect example. I can check on her. I also have the Wave phone, so they can call me if they needed to get a hold of me if there's any issues. I also have the app so they can communicate. So for me, it's the most stress-free environment that I've ever had with a kiddo on a cruise, because I know that they're in amazing care with Pamela and all of her Disney friends. So one other thing is, you know, the Disney Imagineers miss nothing. So this is just another great example of that. So this is room 5148.5. Obviously it has to do with our Muppet friends and everything else, but I'll let you figure that one out. Fun mystery. So now we're on the promenade deck, which has a couple features. So the first and foremost is to lounge and sit back and relax. These are really thick pads on here, very comfortable seating. Okay, and then also this is a place if you want to run, jog, or walk, it's perfect for you. And the thing that I really appreciate is that it goes all the way around the ship. So some ships actually stop and they're segmented, or you can't go to the front or the back, and you stop and kind of go the reverse. This way you can run all the way around. Point out here, you've got a couple water fountains with this great water bottle refill feature. I love the numbers on there, shows you how many water bottles you saved. Considerable amount. I've cruised a lot and I've consumed a lot of water bottles, so I really appreciate that they do that now. Okay. So above me are actually the lifeboats, which function as tenders on the Disney Dream as well. Okay, so now we're heading down, just a little bit of a ramp here. Okay. And then as we get up a little further, I just wanted to point out the plexiglass that they have built in on the decking. So on most cruise ships, you're just going to have railing here, but since this is family friendly and very kid specific, they have this in here. So for me, it's a great feature because it, basically a kid would have to go up and over, and generally you can prevent that. So this is just one extra safety feature that I really, really appreciate. Okay, so we're going to follow along. Okay. Here you've got, actually, these are life rafts. Those are more life rafts. So these kind of just come, would go over, pop up, and in case of an emergency, those would be there for safety as well. So of course, Disney has every safety mechanism in place that you can imagine, that you can dream of for a cruise ship. I think that they probably go the next level of anybody else out there because families and their safety are, Disney's primary concern. So now we're going to continue head towards the front of the ship. Want to point out here, just in case you're interested, 2.5 laps equals a mile. So some of the cruise ships that I've been in, they have it on the top deck and it's 12 laps equal a mile. So basically it's a really nice long jogging track, even longer than a traditional track. More of Disney's signature open windows, get a lot of airflow through here, and now we're heading to the very, very front of the ship. So if I'm running, I go straight here between every single lap, got to get that oxygen. So unfortunately they don't have an oxygen bar on board for people like me, but it is what it is. There's other cruise lines though that have lots of oxygen tanks on board. Let's put it that way. So now we're on deck 4, continuing on. This is also an entrance to the Buena Vista Theater. This is the bottom entrance where you would go in and go up. So there's 2 ways to get in, 2 ways to get out. And you can't smell it through the camera, but what hits me in the face is the popcorn. Amazing. I love it. And of course, because it's Halloween-y, we've got our good buddy Oogie, right? Mickey Mouse, all of them. And so these were the ones I was referring to. If you bring any of your, the ones that you bought at the park, you can get them refilled for $1.50 and have a cheaper way to get popcorn. Thank you. So, oh, look at these. Collectible straws. Gotta have one. I love it. The last entrance to the Buena Vista Theater, so we're now walking to the other side. So as we pass the Buena Vista Theater, we're now to Shutters, which is where you're gonna access all of your photos from the cruise that the staff takes. So see right here, these are the big screens. So if you wanna access your photos, all you do is you once again take your Key to the World card, put it right here, and then it's gonna pop up all the photos that you've taken throughout the cruise. Pick your language, you can pick them, you can order them, get them printed, get them digitally, however you want. You can access it all here, or of course you can work with the photographers, and they're absolutely happy to do that for you. So we're gonna continue along past Shutters, and here on my left, you're gonna find Tiffany & Company. So this is of course the very, very high-end jewelry store. They've got a lot of very unique Disney things, but the brands work perfectly together. They're both luxury brands, and yeah, they do an amazing job, and you can buy certain things only on board that you can get at any of their other stores. All right. So now we're heading into the D Lounge, which is kind of the hub for everything Disney family related. So in here, you're gonna have karaoke, you're gonna have game shows, you'll have learning how to, last night I did learning how to do the animation for Stitch, all of those kind of things. So we've got the big seating up here. You can see that one of the really cool things, they have seating at the stage for the kiddos, so it's very family friendly, very interactive. And in the back, they've got the full tech setup, and also a separate little stage over there. So anything that you want for family activity-wise is probably gonna happen here in the D Lounge. And it's a really fun space, and it's one that they do a great job with. So as we head out of the D Lounge, you immediately feel Halloween. All throughout the ship, anywhere that they have these round porthole windows, they always have a seating area. It's kind of a signature for Disney, and I love it. But you can see here that it's all decked out for Halloween, and then in just 2 months, it'll be all decked out for Christmas as well. So go ahead and follow me. All right, so now we're getting ready to head into the district, which in the evening becomes an adults only area. So as you walk in, it's kind of like the red carpet experience. Of course, a little pixie dust on the floor. You got the outlines of people pretending to be photographed, of course. But as you get into the main area, the whole idea is kind of like arriving at an ultra lounge or a nightclub. These are all the venues that are within the district itself. So if you'll follow me on in, we're gonna head on to first the District Lounge. I'm gonna walk right on over here. There's a big stage. They've had really fantastic jazz music, and then all kinds of singers and things like that throughout as well. But the entertainment has been very solid throughout, and they also use this space for different things. For example, the bar over there yesterday was all set up for tequila tasting, and so the bartenders are very knowledgeable, went through all of the details, and then like I said, it's just a fun experience doing it with 20 other people. So this is the District Lounge itself. Okay, so now we're heading into the 687 Pub, which at its heart and soul is a sports bar and pub. You've got some great little nooks for seating, lots of comfy seating, and then the first thing that you'll notice is the big screen TV, all the big screens above the bar, you know, beer taps, of course. And then the other thing that you'll notice in here is memorabilia about the ship itself. So you're gonna see sketches of the blueprints of the ship, pictures of it under construction, because 687 refers to actually the number that was assigned to the ship by the yard. When they're under construction, before they're named, they have a number. So this one was 687, and that's why you're gonna see all this fun things relating to the Disney Dream. And this was also the place where they had a behind the scenes of building the Disney Dream talk that I took in a couple days ago. It was really, really interesting. So, but once again, this is mainly a sports bar. In the evening, 9 o'clock, it becomes completely adults only, but during the day, sometimes they'll use it for trivia and just different activities like that. So now we're heading out of 687, and this is kind of a transition area, but this area is used for snacks in the evening. So they're gonna put them out late night snacks in here. They have that on all the Disney cruise ships, but I think I had some like chicken satays and chicken fingers and things like that the other night, but it's just a place for refreshment during the late night. Okay, and we'll kind of follow on here. You got the pixie dust on the floor that you're following throughout. There are restrooms down here, which I really appreciate because it's in a dedicated adults only space. So especially in the evening, don't have to worry about families in the restrooms. So now we're heading into Evolution, which is the largest space in the district, and it's used for all kinds of things. So you can see that there's a full stage set up. You got the full bar as well. You also have the light up dance floor. One fun thing here is if you look up, which is kind of tough to get from a camera angle, but you see a giant butterfly, which is the whole concept of evolving, right? The evolution of a caterpillar into a butterfly. But this is a multi-use space that's used for trivia. Like I said, it was used for bingo earlier in the cruise. It's used for all kinds of things during the day that are family friendly. And in the evening, it's adults only. So you're gonna get some of those adults only comedians or magic shows or things along those lines. And of course, because it's Disney, the entertainment is fantastic. So directly from the Evolution Club, you can head into the Skyline Bar. Once again, this is another intimate space on board. In the evening, it does become adults only, and this has been a great spot for private meetings. If you have a private meeting for 20, 30, 40 people or a group get together, this is the ideal spot for it. But in the evening, one of the things I love is as you sit at the bar, your view changes. So right now, of course, we have Paris. We've got the Arc de Triomphe in front of me, the Eiffel Tower over to the side, but it's going to continually evolve throughout the evening. So once again, just an interactive piece that Disney does on the ship, but it's a great bar, and I think it's the smallest bar on board the ship, which I really like because you kind of have that very intimate atmosphere. So as we continue on through the district, there's a couple spots that I just wanted to point out here. To my left, you have two little outdoor seating areas that are really nice. They're very intimate. You got little nooks and areas, so if you need that fresh air, they are not a smoking area, so keep that in mind. But if you do want some fresh air, you want to find another place to go sit and hang out and relax, that's a perfect spot for it. So those of you who are big fans of the bubbly, you have the pink champagne and wine bar. So as soon as we walk in here, you're gonna see the pink piano here. So Ed Kelly is the entertainer that happens to be on board right now. Fantastic job, lots of sing-along songs in the evening. The whole theme is pink. You've got everything dedicated to champagne. There's bubbles on the wall that light up. You've got champagne glasses on the roof, and then this beautiful blown glass behind the bar. So if you're into champagne, they have a really wide selection, so this is the biggest selection on the ship. You can also get them in the dining rooms as well. But once again, just another great little intimate venue that becomes adults only in the evening. And then it's also used for tastings throughout the day and some other fun activities. So we're gonna head on through the pink champagne bar, and what you'll see is we've kind of made a big circle, and we're right back into the main district lounge. All right, so for right now, we're gonna say au revoir to the district. Shout out to France, which we got to spend a little time in, and we're gonna head on to deck 4. Oh. Meet Brandy, everyone.
Hi,
how are you?
How are you?
This is our next gen rock star. There we go. I love it. So now we're heading into the Vista Cafe area. I wanted to point out a couple things. So one, this is also the Connect at Sea desk. So when you get on board, if you need any help with the internet, they're the ones that can help you. But what I learned is what you really need to do is you need to turn your phone on airplane mode and then put on the Wi-Fi, connect to the Disney guest Wi-Fi, and then it's really easy to give access to the app. You don't have to know your booking number or anything. You just pull it up, you put in your personal information, and it's gonna grab that for you. So I'm gonna swing you around here real quick, and just on the other side here is the Disney vacation planning. So this is where you can book future cruises on board. One of the perks of doing that is they give you 10% off, and they also allow you to extend that to one other room. So if you're sailing and your friends aren't, you can book the one and then you can add them on there later. A 10% discount on Disney is substantial, and then of course if there's any other promos or things like that, it would work with that as well. They have a great guide here for 19 and 20 showing you everything that's open, and they're of course incredibly knowledgeable at it because they're just selling this product, which they know inside and out. Hey Pluto, what's up buddy? One of my favorite parts is you get hang out with the characters whenever you want, huh? In 5? Boom. All right, can I scratch the nose? My daughter gets really mad if I don't scratch her nose. All right, there we go. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, so now I'm heading back. You can see the atrium. Now we're on level 2. You get a really good angle of it. Once again, characters up here and throughout. A big seating area here as well. So Pluto's in front of me. He's been running around, meeting. Basically, it's the whole concept of Disney, right? That surprise and delight, that unexpected. You know, when you're sitting there having a coffee, kiddo's having a hot chocolate, and then Pluto comes up to you. It is the absolute best. So the Vista Cafe is another coffee shop on board. So if you happen to have your kiddos with you, you can't go into the Cove. That's something that I've run into. This is the alternative for it. So they have everything that they have in the Cove Cafe. Once again, you've got the snacks, you've got all the coffee drinks, the chocolate explosions, and then also here they have alcohol as well. So another coffee alternative, but this one is more family friendly than the Cove is. So now we're outside Animator's Palette. This was an entirely new concept that Disney created. I've started to see other cruise ships and different things kind of take on a little bit of it, but nobody does it quite like Disney. So the whole concept behind it is to interact with the art on the wall and with the Disney experience of animation. So follow me on in, okay? So you notice from the very beginning, the Disney touches, the handles are a paintbrush, pencil here, okay? And as you come in, the very first thing that you're gonna notice is all of the animation on the walls. So this kind of shows you the process of animation, and that's the first part of the meal. So right here's where you'd have somebody seating you, and if you follow me on in, you can see kind of like sketch work. This is from Nemo. And then the first thing that you're gonna notice are these massive screens. So the screens are part of the show. At the very beginning of it, they're going to start sketching out the different characters. You're going to watch as they evolve, and so it's kind of a fun game to play to guess at the beginning who are they sketching. And then as you progress throughout the meal, they start to get color. So Mickey Mouse is going to come on in, and he's going to turn the whole place into color, and it's a really cool experience. So the other Animator's Palette experience that I love is basically you're going to create your own bit of animation. So kiddos draw it, adults draw it, you know, they give it to you at the very beginning. They're going to take it from you, and then they're going to scan them in, and they're going to become part of the show. So if your kiddo has their favorite little character that they draw over and over again, by the end of the show at Animator's Palette, that same little character is going to be dancing across the screen along with the other one. So what it does is it really brings the experience home, and it makes it a very personal thing. You see throughout the theming, of course, is Mickey Mouse, because this essentially is all about Mickey Mouse, this restaurant. You can see right here on the back of the chairs. But once again, tons of seating. It's way, 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 way bigger than it is on the other ships because it's such a popular venue that they've really expanded it and taken it to the next level as Disney does. All right, so now we're heading from Animator's Palette to the Royal Palace dining room. And basically, Disney came up with the concept of rotational dining. It's been incredibly successful for them. Some have done it, you know, as successful, some not so much. But the concept of it is that you have the same waiters throughout, right? That's the best part of having that traditional cruise ship dining, is that you get to know them, they get to know you, they know your preferences, they make sure that you have what you need. But they also wanted to hop around to different venues and have several different experiences throughout your Disney cruise. So the way that they did this is your waiters and waitresses actually travel with you. So last night, I personally dined in the Royal Palace, and then we're gonna go to Animator's Palette. I'm gonna have the same exact waiter that I had there. My daughter's gonna love it because they've already made a relationship over chocolate milk, as you can imagine. And so they're gonna go with us. So throughout this 4-night cruise, we actually have 3 different restaurants that we're gonna visit. We do double up one time, as you will on longer cruises. But it's really an awesome concept that you get to have that human element, that bond that you make with your waiters and waitresses, and they come with you and they take that experience for your kiddos to the next level. So now I'm heading into the Royal Palace restaurant. So this is one of the 3 main restaurants on board, and the whole idea behind this one is to step into a storybook. Whether it be Cinderella or Belle or Snow White or Aurora, the idea is that you are a prince or a princess and you are going to be waited on in elegant style. So if you follow me in here, I'm actually going to go right to the middle of the dining room. It's a very large space. You have a mix of different kinds of seating. So you've got bench seating or booth seating and chairs. And then right in the middle here, you have kind of the captain's table and the beautiful chandelier that's over it. As we're walking around the restaurant, you're gonna see the people that this is dedicated to, essentially. So as you can see along the wall here, you have the fairy godmothers from Cinderella, you have Aurora, Snow White, Belle, and you can see that they're both kind of in their standard decor and then their dressed up decor. So the whole concept is this transition of into a prince or princess, walking into a storybook and becoming part of it as you dine. Disney does an amazing job at that, and looking forward to coming here tonight with my daughter as she's all decked out in her, I think, Princess Anna dress tonight. So now we're heading out of the Royal Palace into the very heart and soul of the Disney Dream, the main atrium, okay? So got a little step down here. All right. So tonight is the big Halloween spooktacular. So everything is kind of transitioning right now into Halloween fun, okay? So of course you see the incredible Halloween tree here. It came awake last night. It was such a cool thing to do. And you can see it's got the pumpkins on it. And right now, what everybody's waiting in line for, there's several of them. There's a character meeting up on deck 4. There's several on deck 3. But it's all of the Disney characters all decked out for Halloween. Okay, come over here. You see the incredible Minnie Mouse right there. She is the witch Minnie Mouse. She's all decked out for her Halloween spooktacular. And then over here, you're going to have Donald Duck, who has his Halloween costume on as well. And then surrounding me all over, you have pumpkins, spider webs, everything spooktacular and Halloween. Okay, so if you follow me over, we're gonna walk through the atrium area. This is the same spot where they're gonna have big dance parties and all the fun for the kids and every member of the family. And here is the guest services desk. So the guest services team are here to take care of you, do everything that you need. If you have any questions, just go to them and they will handle it, or they'll show you exactly where you need to go in order to do it. The app is the best place to find all of the information, but if you don't have it or it's not working right or something for you, right here you've got the schedule, and like I said, they give you all of the times for the entire cruise, so you don't have to worry about it. So this is basically the entire program of entertainment for the whole ship from start to finish of this 4-night cruise. So continue on this way. Mickey everywhere, as you can see. They've got some beautiful mosaics. So you can see Cinderella here is trying on the glass slipper. This is an incredible piece of art done in the Renaissance. So it's from our absolute favorite Northern Renaissance Dutch artist, Jans van Jans. Of course, he did that. So right across from guest services, through where the elevators are, you have the Bon Voyage bar. So this is that perfect place to sit and relax and have a drink while all the craziness is going on behind you in the atrium. This is where all the dance parties are, all the fun stuff. But it's also just a great place to sit and people watch. So that's a great thing to do on any cruise. Okay, so we're back in the atrium. All the dance parties are kind of done for right now. Everybody's at Castaway Cay, so you can see that the whole ship is pretty much abandoned. This is a great view of what it's all about. The gorgeous chandelier in the middle. There's always decor that's seasonal. So right now we have the pumpkin tree, of course, over there. And one other thing that I wanted to point out is Admiral Donald Duck. So every one of the 4 ships has their own themed character that it's all about. And on the Disney Dream, it's Donald Duck. So there he is. How's it going, Donald? Follow me on. You're going to get into the heart and soul of retail on board the Disney Dream. So nobody does retail as good as Disney. I'm not going to lie, every cruise I've gone on, I've bought several things that I wasn't intending to, because they have so many cool things. If you're a Disney fan, you're going to find it here. So a lot more shops than on the Magic or the Wonder. Right here, you're going to have white caps. It's going to be more of the traditional clothing items. And then as you move over to Sea Treasures, you're going to see all of the different Disney-themed, Disney Cruise Line themed t-shirts and other memorabilia. And as we'll continue along, more of white caps and Sea Treasures are absolutely huge. They have every single possible Disney thing that you can imagine. If you want a Disney Swarovski crystal Pluto, you can get that here. If you want the coffee mug that you can color on and restart, they've got that. So walking right into the area right in front of the Walt Disney Theater. So I just wanted to point out the picture of Walt Disney there. This is another spot where they're going to have meet and greets for the characters, and it's also a place where they roll out the red carpet when you go to the Walt Disney Theater. And then we'll continue on here, and the other major shop on board is Mickey's Mainsail. That is the one that I visited with my daughter every single day because she wanted to go in. They'll let the kids play with the toys and check them out. And so sometimes that's as much fun as going in and purchasing them. So I'm pretty sure that my daughter would rather have purchased all of those items. But it is fun to go in and play around with them and test them out. And because they're Disney, they let you do that. So now we're going to head on into the Walt Disney Theater. So as you enter the Walt Disney Theater, you have Preludes on the left. It's closed up here because it's not close to showtime, but essentially that's where you're going to get your popcorn and drinks and any kind of beverages that you would want before the show, and then you'd head on into the Disney Theater. All right, so now we're in the Walt Disney Theater, and I wanted to point out a couple things to you. So first, it's a huge theater. It can fit basically half of the ship. They have 2 seatings, and everybody can fit into the theater between those 2 seatings. So these are those big Broadway shows. Tonight's Beauty and the Beast. Last night was the Golden Mickeys, which is a signature show of them. I wanted to point out these. These are those little booster seats. This is super helpful for my kiddo because if you get that person that's tall that's sitting right in front of you, I'm that tall person, so I know, but you put the kiddo on that, it just goes right in the seat, and then they can see. Also, this is the first ship that they have box seating on, so you can kind of see the box seating. First come, first serve. Make sure to get here early. Once again, it opens 30 minutes prior to the show starting, and if you really want to go get those front row or those box seats, you got to get there right away. So now we're at the forward elevator on deck 3. The theater's just in front of us. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit the up button. One of the cool things about these elevators is that they actually have the Mickey hand, so you can see where they're going. And for whatever reason, my daughter actually likes to look at that and not necessarily get in the elevator, but just wait for it because it's just a fun kind of twist that they added. Okay? And head up just one deck to deck 4. What's unique about the Walt Disney Theater on board this ship is that it's actually 2 full decks with a separate balcony level as well. So when we get out of the elevator here on deck 4, we're going down actually to deck 2, even though I hit deck 4 because I wasn't paying attention. All right, here we go. So now we are on deck 2, and we're headed towards the Enchanted Garden restaurant. But on the way, there's a few more of these signs that are motion activated, and as you go by, they interact with you. You can see Bambi. Aww. Buddy. All right. Love it. You also have static over here prints, but this is the art gallery. These are all for sale, of course. And then one other thing, there's another spot where you can start the Midship Detective Agency, where you go around and follow the clues. You interact with all the different pictures and things like that. So we showed it already, but I just want to show you this is another place where you can sign up for it if you'd like. This is one of the main restaurants on board. So you can see the sign over there, Enchanted Garden, and the idea is kind of a whimsical, fun Enchanted Garden. As soon as we get in here, you see the pictures of the flowers and kind of an English garden. That's the musical theme that's going on in here as well. And there's several different kinds of seating in here, which I really appreciate. So you have these great little booths if you're just one family or even a couple people that want to dine together. And then as you move in, you have the much larger tables, of course. Super fun fountain in the very middle with Cupid Mickey. Lots of light, of course, as well. Kids absolutely love the fountain. Having running water in the venue is really excellent. And then I'm gonna head all the way to the back. They're just finishing up breakfast service, but this is also the buffet area. So during breakfast, what they do is they have the buffet that's set up throughout. You kind of line up on either side, and they have all the classics that you would expect. They also do seated breakfast in here as well, so it kind of alternates. You just got to pay attention to that. And the last thing I'm going to point out is just right above us, have this beautiful trellis with the flower lights, but it's Disney. Imagineers, once again, did an amazing job with the space, and as you can see, it's very light and open and airy, especially for a second floor, bottom of the ship restaurant. Thank you so much for joining us today on this tour of the Disney Dream. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. And whenever you're ready to sail on the Disney Dream, any Disney ship or any cruise for that matter, reach out to HarTravel.com and we will set the perfect family vacation for you and your family, just like we did for my family.